So hello, namaste, welcome another Sunday, 12:30 in the afternoon. My name is Deepak R. Khemani and we are live on the 185th Sunday Bloom Talk Show. We were traveling and for somehow I thought I will not be able to host this program, but times have turned out such that this is just the right time for me. I'm just now at Delhi airport and we are doing this live from there. And our guest today is someone whom, of course, Premraj will introduce, but somebody who is from the only continent who hasn't appeared on our show, which means on our show in the last 184 episodes, we have people from all over the world who have joined us from Asia, Europe, South America, North America, Australia, even New Zealand. Antarctica was the only continent which left out, and today's guest, Sri Ram Prasad Lal, has gone to Antarctica multiple times. Today, we will learn from him life lessons from his Antarctica journey. Premraj, why don't you go ahead and introduce him and take the story ahead?
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you. That's nice of you to log in from Delhi airport. That's the commitment. That's the commitment that we have. Yes, we have a very, very special guest with us in Mr. Ram Prasad Lal. Like Deepak mentioned, Antarctica was the only continent which was missing in our list. And there we have. And if you can look at his background, it is the Antarctica background that you can see. So introducing this gentleman, he's a scientist. He's been an Antarctica expedition leader. After doing his MSc in physics from Allahabad University, he joined the Indian Meteorological Service in 1985 and served in various roles at IMD as field officers at meteorological centers. He was a leader and station commander India Antarctic Station Maitri during 21st Indian Antarctica expedition. Before leading the expedition, he was a wintering team member of the 12th Indian Antarctic expeditions, which was from 1992 to 94. The 18th edition, which was between 1998 to 2000. And he got an opportunity to spend 42 months in the one of the scariest places on Earth, Antarctica. As expedition leader, he was responsible for all land, air, and ship orientation of expedition, handling 50 members team in the summer component of expedition and managing man and material for expedition along with handling day-to-day operations. After returning from the last Antarctic expedition as expedition leader, his leadership qualities were noticed by higher management and he was posted at the India Meteorological Department headquarters Delhi in many administrative roles. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ram Prasad.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving opportunity to me.
So let's start. What initially drew you to the frosty allure of Antarctica, and did you ever imagine you would be leading expeditions when you started out?
Yes, sir. It was 1987. I was going training at Pune, and there I met my three previous fourth and fifth expedition members. And from their story, it came to my mind that I should go to Antarctica. So in 1990, I tried to become the member of summer team, but I could not clear because I was standby. Then in 11th, I was selected for summer team, but IMD team summer component was withdrawn. So in 1992, almost it was thrown to Antarctica because I wanted to go only for summer, and I was offered that I should go for wintering. Reluctantly I went to Antarctica, but when I went to Antarctica, I loved it so much that I again went to 1998. And then I got, after returning that, I got opportunity and offer that whether you want to go be as a leader. And this was a golden opportunity for me. It was a lifetime achievement. So everything come unexpectedly. It was the nature's luck which granted me all these opportunities.
That's nice. You create opportunities, sir. And because of your dedication, you got this opportunity. You
Yes, sir.
spent a long time, even up to 42
Months.
42 months in one of the coldest, scariest, darkest, windiest continent on earth. Can you, for the benefit of our participants, chart a typical 24 hours day for an expedition member?
Yeah. In summer, there are the almost around the clock night day. So when you are morning at 3 o'clock, got up and roaming around. So normally in the winter, our life start there at around 9 o'clock. So 8 to 9 is a breakfast timing. Then everybody assembles to the meeting room. There we discuss what we are going to do today.
Hmm.
And along with what we did yesterday and what was the problem, if anyone help is required, so we plan accordingly. And thereafter, everybody goes to his own task. So as the task is concerned, everybody has a different task. As scientists, they have a lab program, there are measurement programs, and there is a logistic team who has to manage the entire station. So this is the normal life. Then after lunch, for lunch, you come at 1 o'clock, take lunch up to 2 o'clock, then again go to the work. And after up to 5 to 6 people work there and then come to the station. Then they take tea and other thing, and then they sit in the lounge, watch movies, read the books, and then you take dinner and go for sleep. So this is a normal routine in a typical day. If weather are bad, then the things go jagar. If there is a occasion or function, then that is done different way. But normally this is the way how we live in Antarctica.
Thanks for sharing. And now I'll take you back to not for what you have done, but a bit of history. To the modern world, Antarctica was discovered in 1820.
Yes.
But there are old maps dating to the early 1500s, wherein the continent of Antarctica is shown. Did you or any other country's expeditions find evidence of Antarctica being visited more than 500 years before it has actually been acknowledged by modern science?
No, it is. I don't think that people have that, because after in 90s, 1900 onwards, the people really visited to Antarctica. Earlier, it was only whalers, those who were making the whaling operation, and they have sighted from far away to Antarctica. So, because the history is so, if at all it is there, that is buried in the ice. So there is no such, because only after the people landed in Antarctica, only then written history and recorded history started.
Okay. That's nice. A good share. We have all heard about penguins and polar bears. What is the most bizarre or unexpected encounter you encountered with wildlife or whatever life in your Antarctic expeditions?
Yes, sir. The basic difference is the polar bear, they belongs to the North Pole, Arctic region. And penguins are from the Antarctic. So that is basic difference. If a polar bear would have been in Antarctica, there would have not been any penguins there.
Okay.
So that is the basic difference between both the species. The penguins are very friendly, very curious, and they don't attack anybody.
Okay.
And another thing, they eat only the fresh items, fresh catch from the sea. Whereas the polar bear has a different aggressive behavior. So this is what difference between polar bear and penguins. So penguins live in Antarctica, and polar bears live the Arctic regions.
You mentioned about penguins being very, very friendly.
Yes, sir.
Did you all have any pet penguins? who used to
No,
always
no,
come to your?
no pet penguin in Antarctica. But outside Antarctica, people have the Jews, and they are the Jew. They have put penguins, but not in Antarctica. In Antarctica, even if you legally saying that you are not supposed to catch a penguin, he has to live his life his own way.
You spend so much time there.
Yes.
Can you share any humorous incident from any of your expeditions which takes care of the unpredictable nature of exploring an icy unknown?
Yes,
Any
sir.
humorous incident?
Sometimes it happens that people take it granted to Antarctica. There is one incident. There was blizzard going on, and some of the people, they ventured out. And there was a summer hat. People were doing drilling there, and they found that some sound is coming there. So they thought that it is a blizzard which the doors are running. And later on, when it is continued, they thought that let us see what is happening outside. And they found that 5 people who came there unannounced. So if they have not opened the door, they could have died.
Oh.
So Antarctica don't allow any adventure. It is the nature who never forgive you. If you challenge the nature, it is the end of the life. So it is with the nature, you always be with the nature and respect the nature. That is one of the things what we learned there. And everybody have encountered such events like this. Because I will tell you my own experience.
Please.
Once in the 18th expedition, I got injury in my knee. And there was ligament tear. I was on bed for 3 months. So after 3 months, I became very bored. And when I started walking, I decided that let me go out. I have a stroll around. I took a walkie-talkie with me and informed radio officer that I am going this area. There is a tradition that you inform the station whenever you are going out. Normally, you should not go alone. You should have at least one. But I violated that rule. And by walking, I went in such a situation where it was not possible to meet return. And then when I tried my wireless, it was not functioning. Somehow I climbed the steep slope and they came up. And this was the lesson I learned. And I told everybody in my expedition that never venture out alone. Otherwise, I could have been minus there. There would have been no trace. Nobody could find me. So these are the some lessons which gave you a very good
scary
thinking.
lessons.
Yes.
Scary lessons.
Scary lessons.
Yeah. See, Antarctica is often depicted as a vast, desolate landscape. Can you describe any moment that truly took your breath away and shattered any preconceived notions you might have had about the continent?
No such, because it is normally Antarctica is visited within Antarctica, that there are only 2-3 stations which are on the core. Rest all the stations around 55 there are along the periphery. So there is nothing like that. I have been by helicopter to the interiors also along with the geologist team. It is really scaring. Suppose you are going by the helicopter and a helicopter goes down due to any reason, then it is the only chance that you will survive and next flight will come. That be happened, then that helicopter accident happened in our expedition also. So Antarctica is a vast continent, there is no doubt. And very little of Antarctica is known to the population. Only by aerial survey we know about it. Otherwise, it is not mapped that properly by on land. It is mapped by aerial methods only.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Antarctica is notorious for its extreme weather conditions. can you recount any harrowing experience where you or your team had to weather the storm, both literally and metaphorically?
Yeah, blizzards are the most feared phenomena in Antarctica. So once it is started, it may continue for a weeks, and winds can go about 200 kilometers per hour and more. So when the winds are too strong, even a small hole in the station, that ice comes inside. So this is the one of the phenomena, or in the 6-7 days, a lot of ice is all around your stations.
Oh,
And if within that period, if some fire takes place, and that gives you the nightmare. In one of my expedition, that water supply fire caught. I was in the night duty, and I found that there is fire in my water supply tank. And for 3 days, we did not have any source of water supply. So we melted the ice and then use it. So fire is the biggest fear in Antarctica. If there is fire, very little chance to survival. So we take all care that there should not be any fire within the station. Even before starting the wintry, we keep half of our belongings, half of our material outside the station, so that in case the fire takes place and the station is burned, you can survive for till the next supply comes for after 6, 7, 8, 9 months.
okay, that's good planning. Talking about planning, what are some of the essential items that you always bring to on an Antarctica expedition? And is there any quirky must-have item that might surprise laymen like us? Something that you pack, which we may not normally pack during any other expeditions.
Nothing like that. But the thing is that you are going there, and for 9 months, 9 to 10 months, there will be no supply. So everything is planned well in 1 year advance.
Okay.
We take accounts of what is available in the station, what will be required for the 50 people to live all around the year. And that way it is planned, everything is planned, every item is planned. You will be surprised to know that each expedition leader signs a document that what we have that goes around 900 pages. So wide inventory is there. Inventory, I can tell you, there are the 5 generators of 125 kVA. And 2 of them run 24 hours round. We have the 10 vehicles. They are run to bring the material from the seashore. Seashore is around 80 kilometers away. So all our supply come in by the vehicles. So everything, even a pin, if you need there, you will not find there. So everything is planned very meticulously.
So you talk about meticulous planning where a 9 month stock has to be taken. What about foodstuffs? All only frozen items?
Oh, no. Only the vegetables and meat, these all things goes as a frozen items that we keep in deep freezer. Rest everything we took raw materials. We carry the hydrogen cylinders, LPG cylinders. There is a cook always there. The cooks cook for 5-6 days. 7th day, every member cooks by a rotation. So there is everything fresh we eat there, except vegetables and poultry and meat, other things, these things, fish. These things are always there in a frozen form.
Any chances of getting fresh food there?
No.
No.
Nobody in Antarctica gets fresh food. Only in the summer when the expedition reaches, they carry the fresh food. That is a luxury for a month or so, because the things are just so fast that you even if you miss, you missed it.
Yeah, I believe there are 7 other countries who are on Antarctica. So what is the level of cooperation between these countries, or are they always in competition with each other?
No, there is no competition in Antarctica. This is the highest cooperation in every field. Our neighbors are Russians. They are around 3.5 kilometers. Others are the more than the 500 kilometers away. So whenever we celebrate anything, we call them. Whenever they celebrate, they call. And whenever we are in a trouble or we need something, we ask them whether they can help. And same way they help. So sometimes we have to rescue them. Sometimes they have to rescue us. So this is the mutual cooperation there. So I have been to another station of South Africa also. So really it is such a cooperation that if you feel that once our member, he got a heart attack. So we took him by our ship to the South African station. From there, the American aircraft came and they pick up the patient. And then this was picked up by New Zealand, and the person went to New Zealand for treatment. So this is the type of cooperation we have.
But then in cases like heart attacks, wherein we talk about the golden hour, wherein the treatment is given in the first 1 hour or so, the chances of survival are high.
Yeah.
But then this might be taking a long time, no? So how is that handled? Any emergency measures available?
That is why, that is one of the problems that only the healthiest person goes there. But you cannot forecast everything. If person is even in measurement, all medical parameters is okay, still he can get. So far we got only 2 in the entire history of 1981 to till date. Only 2 cases we got such way.
No, apart from serious ailments, if some ailments happen, how is it? What is the medical facility available there? Do we all have doctors?
Yeah, we have 2 doctors, so one surgeon and one medicine specialist. And we have the very good hospital there for normal treatments, everything. We have even emergency medicines also. And whenever we required, we called the Russian doctors also. And whenever they require, our doctors goes there. So when there is the vicinity of station, there are doctors, then they also help you. So there have been cases the appendicitis have been operated in our station or neighbor stations. So small things are there. But if you have a big issue, then you have to be deported. And deportation during a winter is a difficult task. It is almost impossible. So that is the care is that you have to take care of yourself, your people, your belongings, and don't create emergency situation there. So that
I have a related question, Prem Raj.
Yeah, please, Deepak.
So this is one question I wanted to ask Mr. Ram Prasad, since he was talking about the person who fell sick and he had a heart attack and he had to be airlifted, India and South Africa and then American aircraft and then finally landing in New Zealand. So let's say I am in Mumbai and tomorrow there is a tour and travel operator who says, I would like to take you to Antarctica. Is there some sort of physical training or getting used to, some sort of timing which is required, or can anybody walk in and say I am at Antarctica? I'm sure you understand what I'm asking, Ram Prasad.
Yes. Normally government sponsored expeditions, the thorough medical checkup is done.
Yeah.
In India, it is done at AIIMS, and that is really thorough checkup, including the psychological profiling also.
Wow.
Once you cleared only, then you go to Antarctica. And as far as the tour operators are concerned, they take people for a week or so, but they also have a conditions that you should be medically fit.
Yes.
Because no country, no scientific stations welcomes any outsider there. Tourists are not welcome in Antarctic stations. So that is one condition, because we don't that scientific community don't want Antarctica be another place where we spread all type of things. Yeah. But still it is there. It is allowed by SCAR that Antarctic tourism is there, but with a lot of restrictions.
Okay. The other thing is, it is said that Antarctica does not belong to anyone, which means some sort of a treaty was signed where it was said, nobody will stake claim to Antarctica saying this is mine or this part is mine or, I own Antarctica. All countries in the world together have some sort of treaty. Is there something like that?
Yes, Antarctic Treaty is there. 1957 it was signed. And India became the part of the Antarctic Treaty after 1981 when we started our expedition. So there is a precondition that you should be Antarctic Treaty member only when you operate around the year stations. So there are 56 countries which are the member of the Antarctic Treaty. Around 55 operate stations there.
Okay. Another thing, they call it a conspiracy theory sometimes, saying that, there are things which happen in Antarctica which are unknown or which cannot be explained, or, maybe even alien. Have you ever heard or even encountered such things where something was happening and you were unable to explain?
In the scientific community, it is nothing like that. But there are some weather phenomena which people may call that is unexplained, just like
Hmm.
whiteout. In whiteout,
Hmm.
if some air crash is there, then since there is nobody to explain what happened, so you can put
Hmm.
any story there.
I like the word you used. You can put a story over there. It's not a story, it's just a phenomenon, possibly a weather related issue which cannot be explained properly.
Yes,
My
yes,
last
yes.
question before I hand it over to Premraj, and then probably will open up to the audience, is we hear and see pictures and even videos of large blocks of ice, just breaking away, just either collapsing right into the sea. It is said that global warming is real and the polar ice caps are melting and we have to protect these at all costs. So one, how do you see that, and being a scientist, what would you like to say?
Yes, sir. The global warming is reality. There is no saying. With Antarctica, there are two parts in the West Antarctica and East Antarctica. So normally our station is in part of East Antarctica. East Antarctica is quite stable. But in West Antarctica, there are a lot of ice mass that is embedded there. And you see all the ice, whatever is in Antarctica, that flows to the sea as a glacier. So when the glacier moves forward, there will be a situation when some ice breaks. And that may be with the two regions, whether with the continental pressure and other the sea ice conditions. So that breaking the ice as a becoming an iceberg is a continuous phenomena. Sometimes it become more prominent, sometimes it is not noticed.
Thank you, sir, for sharing that. Over to you, Premraj, and then everyone else.
Yeah, thanks, Deepak. Just a couple of corollary questions to what Deepak mentioned. There are some unexplained things that are happening in the Antarctica, wherein, like Deepak said, there are some theories that says this could also have been done from aliens. It is also, I mentioned about maps, old maps, which are so accurate about the shape of Antarctica. It is presumed that it would have been photographed from the air, either by aliens or by some advanced civilization, much advanced than us, which is now lost to us. Any views on that, sir?
In fact, I saw a arrow at the Somnath, where it said that from here it up till Antarctica there is no land mass.
No land. Yeah.
So there is science there. That may be the hypothesis also, because all the people who went Antarctica for sealing and fishing operations, they roam around Antarctica. So they have an idea that it is a round shape. So from that, the people might have made the history just balancing, just like the Arctic. So if there is a Arctic, there is similar things must be in the other end also. So that might have created a hypothesis. That the hypothesis came true. So that is a part of science, ancient science, which may not be knowing what the process.
And a further question to that, it mentioned about aliens and something not to write. There are some YouTube videos about American fighter pilots who are claiming when they went over specific areas of Antarctica, they found all their machinery, everything going haywire, and they were left to fly blind till they went out of these some areas.
No, I think there is a phenomena when you approach the south magnetic pole, there your compass may not function. So that may be one of the phenomena. Because if the aircraft fails all equipment, then normally we have the listen this thing in Bermuda Triangles. That is unexplained. In Antarctica, so far the aviation history, we don't know like this because the no fighter aircraft goes there in Antarctica. It is only transport aircraft they are flying there.
My last question to you before I open it to the participants. Antarctica could hold countless mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Are there any unexplored regions or research endeavors that you are itching to pursue in future? And what do you hope to discover there?
Sir, Antarctica 90% is unexplored. So there are a lot of mysteries that the people are deep drilling up to the 5 kilometers. They then found a lake. They found a creature there. So a lot of things are there to be unexplored, explored there in Antarctica. So every field they are doing their own way. I don't have any such ambition or any such expertise, but people are there who are working there.
So you wish them luck.
Yes. It is scientific community which always supports each other.
Yeah, that is nice. That's nice. With all this Cold War going around, so it's nice to hear there is cooperation happening there. So let me now open the floor for participants. In case you have any question, please raise your hand, unmute, and we can interact with Mr. Ramprasad.
Yes, Asa, go ahead.
People are digesting whatever you have said. So questions are coming a bit slow.
Yeah, let me ask then one question.
Yeah, please.
This is again related to food, I mean, when you are at a station and there is going to be 10 months of winter and you probably will not even be coming out of those gates, how much food can you stock and how often do you receive new stock of food supply?
Yes, sir. We normally plan 1.25. So if I required 100 kg, I plan for 125 kg. And we receive supply only once a year. So everywhere we plan like that in case of supply is delayed, so you can survive, there is no problem.
Oh, it's once a year. So if there are supplies happening this year in January, the next ship or the next supply will come only next January.
Yes.
Oh.
So that is why the planning and control is required in Antarctica.
Yeah.
You cannot play with the things.
You cannot cause it. And as you said, penguins require only fresh food. We will be invariably having, only frozen food. There is no option of going out and fishing and, catching fish and then making dinner out of it. That is not an option.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Penguins do their own fishing. Any questions from the participants? Okay, while they think, one more question from me, sir. There have been some childbirths happening in Antarctica. How prepared are we for that? And if complications happen, how will that be handled?
Yes. Normally, this is the only Argentina and Chile station. They are on the Antarctic Peninsula. They have built entire station there. They have their hospitals. So there they say that it's their part. Only there the birth has been recorded. And as far as I know, no other area this has been there because normally people go alone. No couples are there.
In these cases, the childbirth. In these cases, as a childbirth happened, it was the wife of one of the expedition members.
Yes, that is what I told you. This is America, that Argentina and Chilean station. It happened.
Yeah. What nationality would then they be given of the station where they were born?
Their own country, because in the periphery of your station, your country laws is applicable.
Okay.
So even in my expedition, I arrested 2 people and sent them back. So all the laws of your country applies within your station periphery.
Arrested and sent them back. This was for what reason?
Because they were not obeying the orders to go back. They are having the jaundice there. And we are
Oh,
fearing that if we stay there, the rest of the people get.
it may spread. Okay, okay. Interesting, interesting.
So sometimes you have to take very rough, hard decisions there.
Any questions?
There is a question in the chat, Premraj.
Yeah. Yeah, that's from Brenda. How long have you spent in Antarctica?
It was in 3 expeditions, 40 months each, so it was 42 months.
Yeah, I mentioned that during the introduction also, I believe. And this is from Raina. How is hospital supplies? And I'm sure it would be the least hit in COVID. What are your views?
So hospital normally our doctors, those who are there, and IMs, they are in a committee. They decide that what type of normal ailments are there. So the normal medicine goes for there, and then there are the emergency medicine that goes there. So normally we keep the track of the nothing expired goes there. Even all the even bloods and plasma goes there. If it required, this can be transfused to persons. So as far as concerned, we have X-ray machines there. All the pivotators are there. So we have a quite good facility. But Antarctica is Antarctica.
Antarctica is Antarctica. Well said. Brenda wants to know, do viruses survive in such cold temperatures?
Normally, we don't have any cold attack there. So I think it doesn't survive there.
Okay.
But
And
if the carriers are there, then it can survive inside the station, not the outside. Because normally, if anybody on sneezing, we tell him to go outside and roam around for 2 hours and then come back inside the station. So normal traditions.
So that's a cure.
One more question, since you are a scientist, and again a little bit about conspiracy theories. It is, it is said that if you dig too deep, especially in places like Antarctica, which has never been explored before, you may actually reach out at a place where some old, probably viruses or any what do they call them, antigens, or you may know the right word, any organisms which were probably buried deep thousands, maybe even millions of years ago. And now, if we go and access them, and if they get exposed now, we may not be able to fight. Your views?
Yes, sir. It has been found. They have found in a lake at 5,000 meters by Russians. And it is there that still they are studying it. I am not aware of what the results has come up. But they found the species there.
Wow, wow, wow. There is so much about the evolution of our planet, our Earth. We still do not know, and probably it may take us many hundreds or even thousands of years to know all that.
Yes, we know
Yes.
what we have. That is what is in our proximity. What is not
Yes.
in our proximity, all is the thesis.
We have one question. We have one question from our last week's guest, Preeti Gandhi. She wants to know, what opportunity does Antarctica hold for mankind?
It is a Antarctica that is a barometer of the climate change. It is from Antarctica we came to know that there is ozone depletion. So a lot of the things happened. So Antarctica have a lot of hope because this act as a barometer. What is going in entire world. So that is my perception about Antarctica and its usefulness. Unless you go there, you will not measure it. Unless you measure it, you will not know what is happening.
Yeah.
True.
Again, since you are a scientist, Mr. Ramprasad, I would like to ask you this. Some 15, 20 years ago, there was a lot of noise and, talk in the newspapers and on TV and on media that there is a ozone hole which is very, very close to Antarctica and probably New Zealand too. In fact, a lot of people in New Zealand were suffering from skin cancers because of that. It is now said that that whole ozone hole has become smaller or it has almost disappeared. Any idea on that?
Yes, sir. It had not disappeared. Its size reduced because this is the annual phenomena. What happened in the winter? That is, ozone is formed in the stratosphere, and if sunlight is there only, then it is formed. Otherwise, it is created on the equator and transported to the poles. So in the winter, what happened? It is a supply is cut off. There is no production of ozone there. So reduction of ozone is a normal phenomena. But abrupt large reduction of ozone phenomena is a climate problems. So that is why the entire the banning of the chemicals is
Greenhouse gases,
happening
yes,
there, and
yes.
now it has improved. But it is a fluctuating phenomena. So it will
Thank
go
you, thank you.
down,
Yeah,
it
thank you,
comes up.
thank you, Ram Prasad sir, for sharing that. Being a geography and a science and maybe even a little bit of astronomy buff, these are some things which come off the mind when you are talking in that flow, and then you suddenly realize that when you were children, these things were being discussed. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank
Dr.
you,
Saurabh
sir.
Patil, please lower a hand and please ask your question.
Yes, thank you so much, Ram Prasad ji. Fantastic. I mean, it's there is a lot to understand about Antarctica. What you give, and it's a pleasure to understand your expedition and your time in Antarctica. You know what Deepak sir was talking about. It made me think. That in 2017 there was a giant hole that was discovered in Antarctica. I'm not sure what it is called. I think it's Paulinia or something like that. Is it true?
Yeah.
I think.
Yes, I will explain what Polynia is there.
Okay.
If ice breaks from the continent,
Mm-hmm.
it moves outside. So that area where the water is left, that is called Polynia. And Polynia is normally warmer than all around the. So that is normal. The sea water circulation goes. That warm water comes from the below, and cold water goes from up the stream. That is how the Polynia is formed.
Okay.
So normally
does
the
it?
life they survive there in Polynia in winters.
Okay. So does the warm water that come from below melt the ice or affect the temperature?
Yes, it doesn't affect the temperature, but it is a normal natural phenomena.
Okay.
That
Okay.
all the water from the equators goes down, and as
Okay.
a current, polar currents, it goes up to the Antarctica. That is how the heat is transferred. Otherwise, it
Okay.
will be going to the cooler and cooler and cooler.
Right. Interesting. Interesting.
So,
Like
so
a geyser.
maintain the balance, the heat transfer takes place.
Right. Like a geyser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful. Again, this is so much more learning of what we learned in geography in school, and a scientist's view of actually having been there, known that, and explaining it. Thank you, Ram Prasad sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any more questions, views? Hari sir?
Again, till there is another question, just one small one to Ram Prasad ji. When you
Yes,
get up in
sir.
the morning in a blistering cold, which is -30, -50 degrees also, how do you get up? How do your fingers feel? How does your body feel when you get up in the morning?
Sir, beauty is this. In my station, the temperature is maintained at 16 degree plus.
Oh,
So
Wow.
outside, if it is minus 30, if you go out, you feel minus 46.
mm.
So in the station, we have the hot and cold water supply continuous. We have the
Wow.
continuous heating system. We keep the station heated, and we
Yes.
maintain the temperature around 16 degree.
I
So
think
if you are
again,
sitting outside in
yeah,
the can, then that
yeah,
is a different story. Even
yeah.
for going out and having a water, you melt the ice, then you use it. So during summer expeditions, summer component, this happens with everybody who goes for Antarctica expedition.
Yeah. Again, hats off to all those people who built that station so that you now have that facility of hot and cold water and 16 degrees temperature. Wonderful. They must
Yes,
have worked really hard and in very difficult conditions to build these things. Yes.
Yes, sir, Harish sir.
Great memories. Thank you for sharing. And it's an opportunity, it's a voyage in life which you have done. And I'm sure you are penning it down, every instance which shifted the way you were when you went from here and now who you have become. It's not only inspiring, it's not only talking about adventure, it's not only the courage to live those 42 months, it's beyond that. And you are a part of a legend who will be remembered because of these 42 months of being in a place where normal people don't dare to go. I use the word dare. Now, having shared all this, do you think you could go beyond by articulating your 42 months, month on month, week on week, day on day, and create a documentary or something beyond that? Just a thought I'm sharing, because this needs to be captured. Ram Prasad ji, my request to you is these 42 months have to be captured. And once you capture it, the way you have seen with your own eyes, it's going to be remembered by many, many people, including your great-grandchildren. So just a thought I'm sharing, and I'm igniting that you have to complete this. How much time you need is up to you, but I'm igniting the thought that you need to create that. And I'm sure you have tons of pictures with you, and the people who were there with you, the names of those people, you would associate each one of them. I remember when the movie Law of Attraction was made, they got hold of all those people who were speaking on this and created that movie. So just a thought I'm sharing, and wish you the very best, and keep sharing and keep giving the world the knowledge that they are not aware of, and it does not come normally. This is special. This episode itself is special, where you have shared your 42 months multiplied by 30 days, multiplied by 24 hours, multiplied by every hour has got 60 minutes. The amount of time you have invested in your life is really a landmark, and really grateful to you for sharing. And I'm sure many, many people will listen to this episode wanting to learn more, know more, and speak to you personally if they are curious to know more, and if they have the courage to think that let me take this shot in this life and go there and see. Thank you, and bless you for sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I-
Thank you. I
yes,
have taken
I
note of all
second.
you told.
Yeah, I second Harish sir's whatever he has said, because it is very, very important for you to pen down your journey, your thoughts, your experiences, so that somebody else can take benefit from it. In fact, for everybody who is here just now in this audience, I had put this post up also. Bloom, in its 200th anniversary, which is just 15 weeks away, is planning to release a book, and we are asking people to share their chapters. So you could also probably coordinate with Payal and then share one chapter of your life which could be a part of this book. So
Yes, sir, I will do. Sir, I am reliving my life after 32 years.
That's nice. That's nice. And if you need any help in penning that book, please reach out. We will help you too.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you very much for your support.
So since there are no other questions or no other views, let us close it. So it's a privilege to have you on our show. This was one of the missing links in our 185 episodes you have filled. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for enriching our lives, because you brought a continent to life, and we know much more about this continent now than we ever knew. And we will be taking these experiences whenever and wherever we go. Thank you for your time, and thank you all
Yes.
the participants for making this episode very, very special. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you all for giving your time and listening to me. It is my pleasure to share my experiences with all of you.
Thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you, Ramprasad sir, for sharing. And till we meet again next Sunday on the 186th episode of the Sunday Bloom Talk Show. God bless us all.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.